So thank you all for coming, and I'm really happy to be here today. We've traveled a couple of years from when the inception of this to this coming to fruition, and I'm really glad that we've gotten there. And I hope everybody's having a good morning. There was no snow this morning, and it didn't happen between 8 and 9, so maybe we're spared, which is a good omen for this. I want to thank the Distinguished Flying Cross Society for the memorial and for honoring Brigadier General Charles McGee. I want to thank my Department of General Services for helping place the memorial. I want to thank the Montgomery County Public Library System for working with the Distinguished Flying Cross Society to organize this event. I want to recognize General McGee's daughter, Yvonne McGee, and the members of the Tuskegee Airmen who are present. This really was a collective effort to make this happen today. And just want to say that, a few things about Brigadier General McGee. First of all, we made this decision, Will Jawanda brought this forth to name this library in his honor. And we name a lot of things around the county. And this was a really appropriate thing to do. I mean, we cannot retell history if we don't also celebrate people who played important roles in making our society as good as it can be, not necessarily perfect, but at least, better than it was for sure. And if we don't talk about that and we don't show the faces and the names of the people who did that, it doesn't become part of the body of knowledge that everybody lives with. So things like this are important so people understand who he was, what he did, and also the time frame in which he did it. I mean, these are people, the Tuskegee Airmen are one of the people who gave their lives and fought for this country and came home and were treated like dirt and didn't have the rights of every other American. And they stood up for this country even when they were denied the basic rights. And that's something that every American ought to know. That ought to be part of our consciousness about how society's operated and how things have worked, to understand how important the achievements of what he did are. Because, when you have no obstacles, the path to achieving things is a lot easier. When you face major obstacles in your life, achieving what he achieved is far more difficult for him than it would have been for another person. And he flew combat missions across 3 wars, World War II, the Korean War, and the Vietnam War. And throughout his distinguished career, his exceptional service earned him 2 Legions of Merit, 3 Distinguished Flying Crosses, a Bronze Star, 26 Air Medals, and the Congressional Gold Medal. That's an amazing set of accomplishments, and that doesn't even include what happens in his life after he's not in the military. I just want to see some other things I thought were important is, I remember Brigadier General McGee's family talking about during the naming ceremony about how much he enjoyed reading and encouraging young people that he mentored to pick up a book. It's fitting that this is in the library. This is probably the most fitting place. And one of the things one of the other things I remember is that, it was important that we named the library after him because it helps us bring attention to all of his accomplishments, not just the military stuff, but he was so much more than the military stuff. It's an opportunity for people to learn more about the full picture of what he did and what he could do. I think having this on the main floor of the library is important. It's important to put memorials where they'll be seen. And this is a place where this will be seen. And that to me is an important decision. Memorializing a street name or something like that, or a little plaque on a corner is not the same significance as, naming a library and putting the history of this person here. And that's why we've, made these decisions, and it's great that we're able to talk about it today. I look forward to kids coming in here and learning. I look forward to librarians will have to know enough when some kid walks up to them and said, who was this person? We want all the librarians to be able to tell the kids, or even the adults, who he was and what he did. Telling those stories and spreading that information to the general population is really important. And I think this is really appropriate that we're coming together today because it's 2 days before what would have been his 104th birthday. So he lived a long, productive, useful, and meaningful life. And what we're doing today, I think, is really fitting for his accomplishments. And I want to thank Will for starting this off. And today, we'll put the crown on it. Thank you.